Boom, boom, this is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so we've got Bleach Immortal Souls up today. I've been moving along pretty good through the storyline. I completed the story finally, up to chapter 15, which is the last chapter that you can get until you clear a certain amount of stars. And I cleared a certain amount of stars, and I've started on chapter 16 right now. 16 is a little bit tougher. You'll notice that the bosses and stuff, they have a lot more hit points, so you got to hit a lot harder. But if you want to start getting gold, gold ranked equipment and gold rank enhancements, you have to you have to start clearing 16 and 17 because that's where the first gold enhancement items for your equipment and for your armor are located at. So you have to get through it. It takes 575 stars to get to it, so you need to pretty much have everything cleared out before. It's also, you have to get into 16 because once you get to the elite, you have to clear 16-7 before you can continue on your elite mode. So you definitely have to get into it. But you need to be ready for it. I've got a different team now. My team's changed a little bit, and I've sort of rotated things. So I've got Kenpachi, of course, and I've got him pretty much maxed out. I'm still working on getting his equipment, completed here. But see, this a lot of this goes into 16.5. You see, so you need to get to 16 to get some of this gold gear for your characters. But I've got him as far as I can get him, and it's the same with see, these two right here are in 16. So you need to have 16. So this is Yucko. I got him up to UR now. I completed his relic. If you go back and look into your team and go into your spirit relic, the center one is for Kinskin. I did complete that. So once you do that, that takes him to UR. I'm now backtracking and working on the combat pass for Ichigo, and completing this will get him to UR. I don't have Aizen yet, so I'm not really focusing on Hogyoku as of yet. So, but yeah, so that's where I'm at in terms of Yuku. So he's up and running. And I've got Gensetsugu. He's pretty much in the same position. These items right here are all in 16. So Kenpachi, Zangetsu, and Ichigo are all in my back line. So those are the three attackers that I'm utilizing in my back line. I went ahead and removed Soifon out. I'll probably put her back in after once I am able to get 5 stars on her, she'll probably do more power. Right now it's between Ichigo and Soifon, whoever does the most damage. But the thing I like about Ichigo is the fact that because of his passive, if you look at his passive, on his skill, his 4 passive is standing up for friends, which is when he's on the battlefield, he increases the attack of all allies and deals 20% more damage to bleeding targets. Okay, that's important right there. Increasing the attack of all allies. So that's why I think it gives him an edge over Soifon. I think she does slightly more damage, but when you figure in that passive, it just becomes more because her passive, 66 is adds master to. Okay, so this is just for her. Okay, I do like the fact that that when you attack by Homonko, if target's HP is beneath the certain and Homonko has been stacked twice, then a target immediately dies. I've seen that proc, but it's not proccing very often at all as we're getting much higher. So I don't really consider it to be that important. So I've got Kenpachi, Zangetsu, and Ichigo in my back line. My front line is Yamamoto, and as you can see, I've got him all gold equipment, and we'll be starting to move him up. But these things right here take in 16. So this is actually in 18. So as you can see, you need to get up in there before you can really start doing that. And then my front line also after Yamamoto is I have got Yoroku in there. I've got him up. He's UR. He does an excellent amount of damage, not to mention the fact that he just has a ton of hit points. I mean, 173, and compare that with I mean, he's got like 20,000 more hit points. So a lot of the times he's still the only one left because he's a tank, but he also has good attack. And another thing I like is Child's Game, which he deals additional damage. His effect reduction increases by 20%, and Master Skill life steals for 40%. So once I get his 4th star, which I'm debating right now, I've got enough. Omni shards to take Yamamoto up to 4-star, or take him up to 3, and then take him up to 4-star. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm still debating as to which way to go. And then my last frontliner is, of course, Yakuya, because he just does an excellent amount of damage in his bleed. I know I'm hearing a lot of people say that towards the as you get higher, he starts to taper off, and if he does, then I have no problem with moving. I've got Soifon that I can move back in if I start to see a reduction in damage from Kyuga, or I might even go maybe something like Kamamaru. But so I've got options. But yeah, that's my team. So Kenpachi, Yakuya, Zenketsu, Ichigo, Yamamoto, and Yoroku. That's who I'm running right now, and it seems to be doing pretty good. I mean, I am getting through 16. As in terms of what I'm going to look for next, I'll probably end up getting your horror pretty soon, just by fact. But I really actually want to go for your Koro, because I really like the fact that really like his skill set. I think it'll be very, 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 very good. So he deals 15% and recovers 15 of his missing hit points. Okay, and then deals to a column of enemies. Goes 20 and inflicts burning to enemy target for 2 rounds. So he's got to burn just like Yamamoto. It's not as good as Yamamoto's, but it's still good. And then his third one is, of course, an HP increase, and DOT damage increases greatly when deployed at the beginning of each round. Okay, so it's a pretty good passive right there. Because damage over time, that's bleed, and that's burning. Those are DOTs. So increase pretty much every single. Most of my backliners do inflict bleeding, so having something that increases that effect is very important. So I'm really considering him. I got to start saving up my soul shards. I spent a lot of my soul shards to. I was really trying to get all 50 for Yoroku's weapon, Katen Kaio Kotsu. I believe I said that right. I was going to try to get that for Yoroku, because that's his weapon. But because when they had the last event here last week, they had him and his weapon. You could get shards for both. But I came up a little bit short, so hopefully they'll have this out again sometime, and I'll be able to complete it so that I can get his actual gold weapon. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm still working on that. Other than that, everything seems to be going pretty good at this point. I'm just to the point right now where I'm just trying to build things up as best as I can. I'm really pretty much maxed out in terms of what I can do character-wise enhancements, because even the general enhancements are requiring stuff in 16. So you basically got to get to 16, and 16 is really tough. So as I'm leveling up, leveling up and then leveling up the skills, which is one of the ways that you do it. Because each time you increase, like when I increase him to 68, I'll be able to upgrade his skills a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking that probably a couple days I'll be able to proceed a little bit lighter, because as you can see through the stages on 16, you don't really start earning thing until like 16, 7 and 8. That's when you start getting enhancement materials. And as you can see, it's pretty erratic as to what, like 3 and 4 I hit with 5 stars. And then at 16.5, I wasn't able to complete that before everybody died. The boss in 16.5, it's only one boss, but he does rage immediately, and he just nails you with a bunch of criticals. So and he did it like 3 times, and that even Yuraku went down. So but I almost got him. He was very, very, very low in hit points. His health was very low by the time that reached, so I almost got him. So I just another level, I'll probably be able to take him, and then that'll get me to open up the elite, hopefully. So, but yeah, so that's where I'm at. So 16 is a lot more difficult than 15 in the other areas. But to get the gold stuff, this is where you got to go. So it's just a matter of getting it up there, and getting the equipment that's needed. As you can see, I got a lot of Harmony shards. I'm thinking, once I make a determination here shortly whether or not to use these, so I'll have, I'm thinking once I take Yamamoto probably up to 4, I won't be having much of an issue. And some of those levels again, I should be able to do a lot better, because he's pretty good damage wise, and he's only at 2 stars. So, but I was just going to wait and see if they were going to come out with something for Aerocore before I utilize those shards. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, so other than that, everything seems to be looking good. I just wanted to give everybody an update because I know I hadn't pushed out an update just for a while, but I was able to play it while I was out on vacation. So, and just progress through. So at 70, level 70, you get some more VIP points. So just taking up another VIP level, which allows you to purchase more stamina and more gold. I'm finding out the gold is pretty limited, to say the least. The gold that they give you really hasn't increased that much. You're still getting pretty much what you got at the beginning, but the thing about it is that the cost of doing the enhancements on your equipment and your armor has gone up dramatically as you level through. So it's beginning to, it's hampering because I really can't continue with what I wanted to continue on, which is my soul hall and leveling up, with these new statues. There's just not enough to do both. Even purchasing all 10 levels of the Midas Touch, I still run a little bit low. So, which is one of the reasons that my Soul Jade has gotten a little bit low, and I'm probably not going to have enough to actually progress with the next banner that comes up if I don't start conserving it. So we're a little bit behind here. I'm on server 100, so we don't get things quite as fast as everybody else. So, but we'll see. But yeah, so moving along, 468k. So you can progress. It just takes a little bit longer, of course. They got the event going up, but the awesome event is going up. I'm not really happy that they changed the way that you acquired these gold tokens, because they changed it to 2 different ways. It's no longer going through like it was before. So I was hoping, but it is what it is. But it makes them a little bit more difficult to come by. But we'll work through it and see what we can do. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So that's the team I'm running. So yeah, like this. So it runs pretty cool. And then I bring Soifan, Jin, and Tushar off of backside because they do pretty good damage, so I get their buffs. I'm still getting Soifan's chance to get Soifan's rage, so in arena and stuff. So she's not out completely, but yeah, Ichigo just does a lot more damage with his bleed, and that passive that he gives increases the attack of everybody. It's just puts him a little bit above Soifan in terms, but once I get her to 5-star, that it might be able to more than make up for difference, and I'm really close to doing that, because to bring her to 5-star, I only need to get so I only need 25, 90, 35, so I need like 42. And I'm coming in on the shop here on the battle arena. I need 3,000 more in the battle arena, and I'll be able to get 50 Soifan, and that'll be able to bring her up to 5. So that's what I'm going to do at this point. And then gonna have to, after I do that, I'll reset, refresh this, and then I'm going to try to get more for Kenpachi, another 20 Kenpachi shards. That's all I purchase in here is the shards for him, because I'd like to promote him too, because you know, what you can say what you want, but he does a ton of damage. You know, I consider him to be probably the strongest in the game. So I'm really hoping that I can, you know, get him to 5-star. I still got a ways to go, but you know, 20, and they'll probably have some type of banner for him sometime in the future, or you'll be able to get a bunch more shards. So so that's what I've been focusing on. But yeah, so you know, I'm enjoying it. You know, you know, I'm having fun playing the game, changing out the characters, trying different things. You know, there's some things to consider. You know, like I managed to get Ishiro up to 4 stars, and I'm seriously considering doing something with Lisa, just because of her skill set. She has a special skill set that makes her extremely valuable, but a lot of that really doesn't take hold until you get her to 4-star, which is erotic manga lover, that's where you, based on you know, based on what type of you know, if it's like white tigers or dragon or vermilion, you get a different skill set in her team. So it's interesting. So she was a little bit when she was offered, she had a higher offer rate than the others. And she does some pretty good damage too. So but you know, I'm considering bringing her up and putting her in, since I'm can't really proceed very far with my mains at this point, until I can get, you know, into the middle, towards the end of 16, which I'm pretty close. I should have it in a level or 2. So hopefully in the next 3 or 4 days I'll be able to get into that and start earning the gold materials that are required to take my enhancements and my all of my equipment to gold, to progress further through the game. Okay, so yeah, so having fun, you know, get in there and knock it out. You know, we just focus, you know, get your team. Got to decide on a team. There's not enough mats to go around, and just decide which, you know, you want to look at 6 mains, and then you want to look at 3 others, because you can use those on the elite stages and the arena stages. So make sure to not neglect them, which is, as you can see, I'm keeping an eye on the 3. I'm actually running Jin, because of his bleed, increases bleed damage, and a lot of my characters do bleed. So, but yeah, so you want to make sure that you have at least, you know, perfect would be 9, you know, 9 characters that are, you know, close to max, because that'll help you in battle arena and other things. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Go ahead and put a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified whenever I drop a video. Go ahead and click on the bell, and you will receive as requested. And this is Ken Rear, and I'm back in the corner, signing out.